Lesson 1: Choosing the right tech for work.
Hey Anna, I wanted to get your advice on something. I'm in the market for a new laptop and I'm trying to decide between Windows or Mac. What do you think would work better for my work needs?
That's a great question. What kind of work software do you use mainly? That could help guide your decision.
Well, I rely a lot on the Microsoft Office suite, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, that kind of thing. And some industry-specific programs that tend to be more Windows compatible.
I see. In that case, I'd probably recommend going with a Windows laptop. The Microsoft programs tend to integrate better with the Windows operating system.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. The Windows environment just seems more in line with the software I need for work.
Absolutely. Plus, Windows laptops are usually a bit more affordable compared to the Apple options.
Good point. Saving a bit on the upfront cost could be helpful too. Alright, I think you've convinced me, I'll go for Windows then.
Wonderful. I think that'll be the best fit for your work needs. The compatibility and cost factors make Windows the way to go.
Agreed. Thanks for the input, Anna. This helps me feel confident in my decision.
Of course. I'm happy I could provide a useful perspective. Windows will serve you well for your work.
Awesome. Alright, time to start researching some specific Windows laptop models then.
Sounds good. Let me know if you need any other advice as you're narrowing down your options.
Will do, thanks. This is going to make my work life so much easier with the right laptop.
I'm sure it will. The right tech tools can make all the difference in boosting productivity.
Absolutely. Alright, let the laptop hunt begin. I appreciate you helping me figure this out.
Happy to help. Wishing you the best of luck finding the perfect Windows laptop for your needs.
Thanks, I'll take all the luck I can get. Alright, time to get shopping.
Lesson 2: The wisdom of online shopping safety.
Hey Anna, I was wondering what your thoughts are on being cautious with online shopping these days? It seems like it's better to err on the side of caution.
Absolutely, John. In the world of e-commerce, it's definitely better to be safe than sorry. There are so many potential pitfalls to watch out for.
Definitely. With all the scams and security risks out there, it pays to be really vigilant when making purchases online.
Exactly. Things like verifying the legitimacy of websites, checking for secure payment methods, and being wary of too good to be true deals are so important.
Totally. I'd rather spend a bit more time researching and double checking than risk getting ripped off or having my information compromised.
Agreed. It might take a little extra effort, but the peace of mind is worth it when you know you're shopping safely online.
Absolutely. And the consequences of a security breach or fraudulent purchase can be such a headache to deal with.
Definitely. It's just not worth the risk. Better to take the time to ensure you're buying from reputable, trustworthy sources.
Exactly. Doing a bit of due diligence upfront can save you a whole lot of trouble down the line.
Exactly. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure when it comes to online shopping security.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Alright, good chat, time to put these tips into practice for my next online purchase.
Sounds good, John. Stay vigilant out there. Safe and smart shopping is the way to go.
You got it. Appreciate the advice, it'll help me shop with confidence moving forward.
Happy to help. Wishing you the best of luck with all your future online shopping endeavors.
Thanks, Anna. Alright, time to put on my cyber detective hat. Gotta stay one step ahead of those scammers.
Haha, yes. Sleuthing skills are a must. Enjoy the hunt, and stay safe out there in the digital marketplace.
Will do. Alright, let the online shopping commence, securely and sensibly, of course.
Lesson 3, The Prowess of Paralympian Hanlon.
Hey Anna, have you heard about the incredible Paralympic athlete, Hanlon? I'm really fascinated by his story.
No, I'm not familiar with Hanlon. What makes him so noteworthy?
Well, Hanlon is a Paralympic swimmer who has achieved remarkable success despite facing significant physical challenges.
Oh, that's really inspiring. What kind of physical limitations does he have, and how has he been able to excel in the pool?
From what I understand, Hanlon has limited use of his legs, but he's found a way to translate that into greater boat speed through his swimming technique.
Wow, that's really quite remarkable. Being able to overcome physical obstacles and turn them into strengths is so admirable.
Definitely. Hanlon is just an incredible example of the power of determination and innovation.
Absolutely. Using his limited leg function to enhance his swimming prowess is such a creative and impressive feat.
Right? He's found a way to defy expectations and redefine what's possible for athletes with disabilities.
That's so inspiring. It just goes to show that with the right mindset and dedication, people can achieve incredible things, regardless of their physical limitations.
Exactly. Hanlon's story is a testament to the human spirit and the transformative power of perseverance.
For sure. It's amazing how he's been able to turn his perceived weaknesses into genuine strengths through sheer willpower and skill.
Definitely. He's truly a role model for anyone facing challenges, Paralympic athlete or not.
Absolutely. Hanlon's achievements are a powerful reminder that we shouldn't let our limitations define us.
Well said. His story is just so uplifting and motivating. I can't help but be in awe of his accomplishments.
Me too. It's the kind of story that really inspires you to push past your own boundaries and reach for greatness.
Definitely. Alright, I'm even more eager to learn more about Hanlon's incredible journey now. Where can I find out more?
I'm sure there are plenty of articles and interviews that delve into the details of his career and training regimen. A quick online search should turn up some great resources.
Excellent, I'm on it. Time to dive deeper into the remarkable feats of this Paralympic trailblazer.
Absolutely. I can't wait to hear more about Hanlon's story and how he's continuing to inspire others through his achievements.
Me neither. Alright, let's get researching, this is going to be a fascinating deep dive.
Sounds good. I'm excited to learn more about this incredible athlete and his remarkable path to success.
You bet. Alright, time to uncover the inspiring story of Paralympian Hanlon.
Lesson 4: The Cost of Taxis.
Hey Anna, I've been wondering how expensive are taxis in our city these days? I'm trying to figure out the best way to get around.
That's a great question, John. Taxi fares can really vary depending on the time of day, distance traveled, and even the specific company.
Ah, I see. So there's not a standard rate, huh? Is there anything I should be aware of when taking a taxi, like checking for a logo or registration number?
Absolutely. It's always a good idea to make sure the taxi has the proper branding, license plate, or other identifying marks. That helps ensure you're getting a legitimate, regulated ride.
Gotcha, that makes sense. And in terms of the actual cost, any ballpark figures I should keep in mind?
Well, the base fare is usually around $3 to $4 to start, and then it's typically $2 to $3 per mile. But surge pricing during peak times can significantly increase the total.
Okay, that's good to know. So it can really add up quickly, especially for longer trips.
Definitely. Taxis can be quite pricey compared to other transportation options like rideshares or public transit.
Good point. I'll have to weigh the convenience factor against the cost when deciding how to get around.
Absolutely. It's all about finding the right balance between your budget and your transportation needs.
Definitely. Alright, thanks for the helpful taxi tips, Anna. I feel more informed on what to expect now.
Happy to help, John. Navigating the world of urban transportation can be tricky, but being a savvy traveler is key.
For sure. Okay, time to put this taxi knowledge to the test on my next trip around the city.
Great plan. Just remember to keep an eye out for those meters and identify marks. Safe travels.
Will do. Appreciate the advice, it's going to come in handy. Alright, onward to my next destination.
Lesson 5: Creating a Cozy Bedroom Oasis.
Hey Anna, I'm trying to redecorate my bedroom to make it more of a relaxing retreat. Do you have any tips?
Ooh, that sounds like a great project. I love creating cozy, peaceful spaces. What kind of vibe are you going for?
Well, I want it to feel really calming and tranquil, you know? I'm thinking soft colors, plush textiles, and maybe some natural elements.
Absolutely, those are all perfect for a serene bedroom. I'd suggest starting with a soothing paint color on the walls, like a soft blue or sage green.
Those sound lovely. And for the bedding, do you think I should stick to solids or try some patterns?
I'd mix it up a bit. Maybe some crisp white sheets with a patterned duvet cover in a complementary shade.
That's a great idea. I was also thinking of adding some cozy throw pillows and a fluffy area rug.
Ooh, yes, those textiles will make it feel so inviting. And don't forget about lighting. Dim, warm lamps create such a relaxing ambience.
Good point. Maybe I'll get a couple of those cool Himalayan salt lamps I've been seeing everywhere.
Oh, those would be perfect. They give off the most serene, calming glow.
Alright, I'm getting excited about this. Thanks for all the awesome tips, Anna.
Lesson 6, a Spooktacular Halloween Party.
Hey Anna, did you see all the Halloween decorations popping up around town? It's got me feeling in the spooky spirit.
Absolutely. I love this time of year. Have you started planning your costume for any Halloween parties?
No, not yet. I'm still trying to decide what to go as. There are just so many fun options: princesses, kings, queens, even skeletons.
Ooh, a skeleton costume would be super cool and creepy. Or you could go for something more creative, like a pumpkin or a haunted house.
Those are great ideas. I was also thinking about dressing up as a vampire, fangs, cape, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, that would be perfect. You could really get into the role and act all mysterious and suave.
Haha, yes, I'd have to perfect my sinister vampire laugh. Maybe I'll even try to find a vintage looking castle backdrop.
Ooh, a spooky castle setting would make it feel so authentic. And you have to do the whole dramatic cape swish when you enter the room.
Absolutely. I'm already getting excited just thinking about it. What about you? Have you decided on a costume yet?
I'm thinking of going as a witch this year. You know, the whole black dress, pointy hat, wand situation.
Oh, a wicked witch, I love it. We could do a whole haunted house theme together.
I love that idea. We'd make such a dynamic duo, the suave vampire and the creepy witch.
It's a plan then. This is going to be the spookiest, most fun Halloween party ever.
Lesson 7, a flexible work arrangement.
Morning, Anna. I wanted to chat with you about something regarding my work schedule.
Oh? What's up, John? Is everything okay with your job?
Well, I've been thinking about asking my boss for a more flexible work arrangement. I feel like the current setup is a bit too rigid.
I see. What kind of changes are you hoping for exactly? More remote work options or adjustable hours?
Ideally, a combination of both. I'd love the ability to work from home a couple days a week, and maybe adjust my start and end times.
That makes sense. Having that kind of flexibility can really help with work-life balance.
Exactly. I feel like I'd be able to be more productive and focused if I had a little more control over my schedule.
I agree. Have you mapped out a proposal to present to your boss?
I've been working on it, but I'm a bit nervous about how they'll react. What if they think I'm not as committed to my job?
I wouldn't worry too much about that. As long as you can show that you'll still be fulfilling your responsibilities, they should be open to it.
That's a good point. And I could offer to be available for key meetings or check ins, even on my remote days.
Absolutely. Position it as a way for you to work more efficiently, not less. I'm sure they'll see the benefits.
Okay, I'm feeling more confident about it now. Thanks for the encouragement, Anna. I'm going to put together that proposal.
Anytime. I hope it all works out for you. Just be prepared to demonstrate how it will positively impact your productivity.
Will do. I appreciate you taking the time to talk this through with me.
Lesson 8: A thoughtful birthday gift.
Hey Anna, I wanted to tell you about this amazing birthday gift I received from my mom.
Oh, how exciting! What did she get you?
Well, I've been really into landscape painting lately. She commissioned a local artist to do a custom piece for me.
Wow, that's so thoughtful. I can imagine how special that must feel.
It was incredibly touching. She said the artist spent hours carefully capturing one of my favorite views.
That's so sweet of her. A personalized piece of art like that must be so meaningful.
Definitely. I was really moved that she went to all that effort just for my birthday.
It shows how much she pays attention to your interests and hobbies. That kind of thoughtfulness is priceless.
Absolutely. I can't wait to hang it up in my living room. It's going to be the centerpiece of the space.
I bet it's going to look stunning. What an amazing way to commemorate your birthday.
I know, I feel so lucky. My mom really outdid herself this year.
Well, she clearly knows how to pick the perfect gift. You should be proud to have such a thoughtful parent.
I am, and I'm grateful for her. She's always been so supportive of my passions and creative pursuits.
That's wonderful, John. I'm sure you'll cherish that painting for years to come.
Definitely. It's going to be a constant reminder of her love and care.
Lesson 9: The effects of alcohol.
Hey Anna, I've been wanting to chat with you about the effects of alcohol. Do you have a few minutes?
Absolutely, John. I'm happy to discuss this with you. What would you like to know?
Well, I know alcohol is considered a depressant drug, but I'm curious to learn more about how it actually affects the body and mind.
That's a great question. Alcohol is classified as a depressant because it slows down the central nervous system. This can lead to various physical and psychological effects.
Interesting. What are some of the common physical effects people experience when they drink?
Some common physical effects include slurred speech, impaired coordination, and slower reaction times. Alcohol also dehydrates the body and can cause nausea or vomiting.
I see. And what about the mental and emotional impacts? How does alcohol influence our mood and cognition?
Alcohol is a known mood-altering substance. It can initially make people feel more relaxed or uninhibited. However, as the intoxication wears off, it often leads to feelings of depression or anxiety.
That makes sense. I've noticed it can really impact my ability to think clearly and make good decisions as well.
Exactly. Alcohol impairs judgment, problem-solving skills, and overall cognitive function. It becomes harder to assess risks or control impulses.
Yeah, I can definitely see how that would be dangerous, especially for things like driving. Are there any long term effects of regular alcohol use?
Absolutely. Chronic, heavy alcohol use can lead to serious health issues like liver damage, cardiovascular problems, and brain disorders. It can also disrupt personal relationships and work performance.
Wow, I had no idea the impacts could be that severe. It's really important to be aware of the risks.
Absolutely. Being educated about the effects of alcohol is the first step in developing a healthy relationship with it, if one chooses to drink.
You're right. I appreciate you taking the time to walk me through all of this, Anna. It's been really informative.
Lesson 10: Exploring Global Rivalries.
Morning, Anna. I was reading about the history of England and France, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Oh, that's a fascinating topic. What have you learned so far about the relationship between those two nations?
Well, from what I gather, by around 1750, there was a lot of competition and even animosity between them on the global stage.
Absolutely. England and France had been rivals for centuries, vying for colonial territories, trade dominance, and political influence.
Right, and I read that their tensions really started to boil over during that time period. There were a number of conflicts and wars, weren't there?
Yes, definitely. The two countries fought several major wars, like the War of the Austrian Succession and the Seven Years' War, as they jockeyed for power.
Interesting. What were some of the key factors driving that intense rivalry between England and France back then?
Well, a big part of it was their competition for colonial holdings and trade routes around the world. They were both seeking to expand their empires and economic influence.
Ah, I see. So it was really a battle for global supremacy and resources. Did their political and religious differences play a role as well?
Absolutely. The Protestant Catholic divide between the two nations was a constant source of tension. They also had competing visions for the balance of power in Europe.
That makes sense. It seems like it was a multifaceted rivalry rooted in a complex web of political, economic, and ideological factors.
Exactly. The England-France dynamic was a central part of the geopolitical landscape during that era. It really shaped the trajectory of European and world history.
Fascinating. I appreciate you providing such great context and insight on this topic. It's helped me develop a much richer understanding.
I'm glad I could give you a helpful overview. The rivalry between England and France is such an intriguing aspect of 18th century global politics.
Definitely. I feel like I have a good grasp on it now. This was a really informative discussion.
Lesson 11, A Chance Encounter.
Hey Anna, can I ask you something kind of personal?
Of course, John. What's on your mind?
Well, I was just thinking about how we met, and how if certain things had gone differently, we might never have become friends.
That's an interesting thought. What do you mean exactly?
Well, you know how we first met, I was totally lost in that big department store, and you helped me find my way.
Oh yes, I remember that. You looked so confused, wandering around aimlessly.
Ha, yeah, I was a total mess. But you took the time to stop and assist me, even though you didn't have to.
Well, I'm just glad I could help. I know how stressful it can be to be lost in an unfamiliar place.
Exactly. And just think, if you hadn't been there in that moment, we may have never crossed paths and become friends.
Wow, you're right. It's crazy to think about how a simple act of kindness can have such a big impact on our lives.
Definitely. I'm really grateful that you were there that day. Our friendship means so much to me.
Ah, John, that's so sweet of you to say. I feel the same way. I'm glad we were able to connect.
Me too. It just goes to show how even the smallest gestures can lead to something really meaningful.
Absolutely. Sometimes the most important things in life come from the most unexpected places.
Couldn't agree more. I'm just happy I had the chance to get to know you. You're a pretty amazing person, you know.
Haha, well, right back at you, my friend. I'm lucky to have you in my life too.
Well said. This has been a really nice little chat. I'm glad we could reflect on how we met and became friends.
Me too. It's always good to appreciate those little moments that end up being so impactful.
Absolutely. Thanks for indulging me, Anna. I'm glad we had this conversation.
Lesson 12, The Joy of Grilling.
Hey Anna, I've been craving a good old-fashioned barbecue. How about we fire up the grill this weekend?
Ooh, that sounds amazing. There's nothing quite like the flavor of food fresh off the grill.
Absolutely. I love the smoky aroma and the way the heat caramelizes the outside of the meats and veggies.
Me too. It's just so mouth-watering. Plus, grilling is such a fun and communal way to cook.
Totally. It's the perfect excuse to gather some friends, crack open a few cold ones, and enjoy each other's company.
Definitely. We could make it a whole outdoor feast: burgers, hot dogs, maybe some skewers with marinated chicken or shrimp.
Yum, that all sounds so good. And don't forget the classic grilled corn on the cob and juicy watermelon for dessert.
Ooh, yes, the full backyard barbecue spread. My mouth is watering just thinking about it.
Same here. There's just something so satisfying about a homemade grilled meal, you know?
Absolutely. Nothing can quite replicate that authentic, open flame flavor. It's like a taste of summer.
Exactly. Plus, it's a great way to get creative with marinades and seasonings. I've been wanting to try this new spice rub I found.
Oh, do tell. What kind of flavors are you thinking of using?
Well, I was thinking a nice smoky paprika, some brown sugar for a touch of sweetness, and a hint of cayenne for a little kick.
Yum, that sounds incredible. I can practically smell it sizzling on the grill already.
Right? I'm getting excited just talking about it. This weekend grilling session is going to be epic.
I can't wait. It's going to be the perfect way to kick off the summer. I'll bring some fresh lemonade to wash it all down.
Sounds like a plan. This is going to be one delicious, unforgettable backyard bash.
Lesson 13, Prioritizing Home Renovations.
Alright, Anna, I'm trying to figure out the best order to tackle some home renovation projects, and I could use your input.
Sure, I'm happy to help. What projects are you considering, and what's your overall goal?
Well, I'm torn between starting with the kitchen or the bathroom. The kitchen is in pretty rough shape, but the bathroom is also in dire need of an overhaul.
That's a tough call. Both spaces are pretty integral to a home, so it's important to prioritize carefully.
Exactly. I want to make sure I'm getting the most bang for my buck, you know? Like, which one would give me the biggest return on investment?
That's a great point. Generally speaking, the kitchen tends to offer a higher return when it comes to home renovations.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that. Why is the kitchen considered a better investment?
Well, the kitchen is often seen as the heart of the home. A modern, updated kitchen can significantly boost a home's overall value.
Ah, I see. So that would be the smarter financial move in the long run, huh?
Potentially, yes. Though, of course, it also depends on the specific state of your bathroom and how much work it needs.
That's true. The bathroom is pretty dated too, and I know plumbing issues can get really costly.
Definitely. A full bathroom renovation can also be a major selling point for potential buyers down the line.
Okay. So it's kind of a toss up then. What do you think would be the best approach?
Well, I'd probably recommend starting with the kitchen first, if that's feasible. That seems to be the safer investment.
Got it. And then I could potentially tackle the bathroom after the kitchen is complete, right?
Exactly. That way you're taking care of the higher impact project first, and then you can focus on the bathroom when you have the time and budget.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, I think I'm going to go with the kitchen renovation first. Thanks for walking me through this, Anna.
Of course. I'm happy I could provide some helpful guidance on prioritizing your home projects. Let me know if you need any other advice.
Will do. I appreciate you taking the time to discuss this with me. It's given me a much clearer plan of action.
Lesson 14: Scouting the best grocery deals.
Hey Anna, I'm about to head to the grocery store. Have you noticed any good deals or discounts lately that I should keep an eye out for?
Oh, that's a great question, John. I was just at the store yesterday and I saw some really fantastic sales going on.
Awesome, what kind of products were on special? I'm always looking to save a few bucks when I can.
Well, for one, they had a great sale on some premium meat cuts. I think the steaks and pork chops were like 20% off.
Ooh, that's perfect timing. I was planning to grill up some steaks this weekend. Good to know I can snag them on sale.
Definitely take advantage of that. They also had some really nice deals on fresh produce. The strawberries and blueberries were buy one, get one free.
No way, that's an awesome deal. I love having lots of fresh fruit on hand, especially during the summer.
Me too. And they had some really good sales on pantry staples as well, things like olive oil, canned beans, and whole grain pasta.
Awesome, those are all the kinds of basics I try to stock up on when they're discounted. Definitely good to know.
Absolutely. Oh, and they were offering a loyalty reward for free bakery items if you spent over a certain amount.
Ooh, free baked goods? Now you're really speaking my language. I'm definitely going to take advantage of that.
Haha, I figured you'd be excited about that one. Gotta treat yourself to some fresh baked goods, right?
For sure. This all sounds amazing. I really appreciate you giving me the insider scoop on the best deals.
Of course. I'm always happy to share money saving tips, especially when it comes to grocery shopping.
You're the best. This is going to help me stretch my budget so much further. Time to put together my shopping list.
Sounds like a plan. Have fun at the store, and let me know if you find any other great deals.
Will do. Thanks again, Anna. This was super helpful.
Lesson 15, Mapping out a productive morning routine.
Morning, Anna. I wanted to ask you about your daily morning routine. What does a typical day look like for you?
Ooh, that's an interesting topic. Well, after I wake up, the first thing I do is eat a healthy breakfast.
Nice. What kind of breakfast foods do you usually go for?
I like to keep it simple, maybe some oatmeal with fresh fruit, or maybe scrambled eggs and whole grain toast.
Sounds delicious and nutritious. What's the next step in your morning routine after breakfast?
Well, after I finish eating, I make sure to get dressed for the day and tidy up my bed. Keeping things organized really helps me feel prepared.
Ah, yes, making the bed is such an underrated but important habit, isn't it? What comes after that for you?
Good question. Once I have myself ready to go, I typically take a few minutes to review my schedule and plan out my day.
Oh, I like that. Having a plan in place must help you stay on top of things. What's the final piece of your morning routine?
Well, the last thing I do before heading out the door is quickly scan through any emails or messages I may have received overnight.
Smart move. Gotta stay on top of all that communication these days. Your whole morning routine sounds really well structured.
Thanks. I find that having a consistent, productive morning sets me up for a successful day. What about you, John? What does your typical morning look like?
To be honest, my mornings can be a bit all over the place sometimes. I definitely don't have as much structure as you do.
No worries at all. Everyone has their own rhythm. What are some things you try to accomplish in the morning, even if it's not as regimented?
Well, I always make sure to get dressed and presentable before heading out. And I try to have a decent breakfast, even if it's just a quick smoothie or something.
That's great. Even those little habits can make a big difference. And taking time to plan out your day is so helpful too, even if it's just a mental checklist.
You're absolutely right. I definitely want to work on being more intentional with my mornings. Your routine is super inspiring.
I'm glad I could provide some ideas. At the end of the day, the key is finding what works best for your own lifestyle and preferences.
Definitely. Thanks for chatting with me about this, Anna. I feel motivated to re-evaluate my morning routine now.
Anytime, John. I'm happy I could offer a helpful perspective. Let me know if you want to swap more tips in the future.
Will do. This was a really insightful discussion. I appreciate you taking the time to walk me through your morning process.
Lesson 16, The Art of Precise Measuring and Cutting.
Hey Anna, I've been working on some DIY projects around the house lately, and I wanted to get your advice on the best techniques for measuring and cutting materials.
Ooh, that's a great topic. Proper measuring and cutting is so crucial for any successful DIY endeavor. What kind of projects have you been tackling?
Well, I've been trying to build some custom shelving units for my office, and I just can't seem to get the measurements and cuts perfectly straight and clean.
I see. Cutting wood or other materials precisely can definitely be a challenge. What steps have you been taking so far?
Well, I always make sure to carefully measure the space and the materials first. But then when I go to actually cut it, the lines never come out as neat as I'd like.
I see. Have you been using a ruler or tape measure to mark your cut lines?
Yeah, I use a tape measure to get the dimensions, and then I try to draw a straight line with a pencil before cutting.
Okay, that's a good start. One trick I've found helpful is to use a straight edge or even a level to guide your pencil when drawing the cut line.
Ah, I see. That makes a lot of sense. Using something rigid to keep the line straight would probably help a lot.
Exactly. And once you have that nice, crisp pencil line, be sure to use sharp, high-quality scissors or a utility knife to cut along it.
Ooh, good point. I've just been using a basic pair of household scissors, but maybe investing in some fancier cutting tools would make a difference.
Absolutely. Specialty scissors designed for cutting materials like wood or plastic can make a huge improvement in the precision of your cuts.
That's really good to know. I'll have to look into getting some higher end cutting tools. Anything else I should keep in mind?
Well, one other tip is to measure twice and cut once. Double-checking your measurements before committing to the cut is crucial.
Yes, that old adage is definitely sage advice. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, as they say.
Exactly. Taking that extra moment to verify everything is properly aligned and measured can save you a lot of headaches down the line.
You're so right. This has been incredibly helpful, Anna. I feel way more equipped to tackle my next DIY project now.
I'm so glad I could provide some useful tips. Proper measuring and cutting techniques make such a big difference in the quality of the final product.
For sure. I really appreciate you taking the time to walk me through all this. I know my DIY skills are about to level up.
Happy to help. Let me know if you have any other questions come up as you're working on your next project. I'm always glad to share what I've learned.
Will do. This was a great conversation. Thanks again, Anna, you're the best.
Lesson 17: An unexpected medical encounter.
Hey Anna, I wanted to tell you about this really strange medical appointment I had the other day. It was so unexpected.
Oh, really? What happened? I'm intrigued.
Well, I had to go in for some routine blood work, and when I got there, the nurse asked me to provide a saliva sample.
A saliva sample? That's a bit unusual for a standard blood test. What did you have to do?
Yeah, I thought it was weird too. She handed me this small dish-like bowl and told me I had to spit into it.
Spit into a dish? That does sound a bit odd. What happened next?
Well, I tried to do it, but the saliva just kind of squirted out instead of dripping in neatly. It was a total mess.
Oh no, how embarrassing. I can only imagine how awkward that must have been.
It was so awkward. The nurse had to give me a fresh bowl and walk me through the process step by step.
Yikes, that sounds mortifying. But at least the nurse was understanding and helped you out.
Yeah, she was really nice about it. But I just couldn't believe I was struggling so much with something so simple.
Don't be too hard on yourself. Providing a saliva sample isn't exactly the most natural thing. I'm sure it happens more often than you think.
I suppose you're right. I just felt so silly, you know? I'm usually pretty good at following medical instructions.
I get it, it's understandable to feel a bit flustered in an unexpected situation like that. The important thing is that you got it done.
That's true. And hey, at least it gave me a funny story to tell, right? I'll definitely be more prepared if I ever have to do that again.
Haha, absolutely. You can chalk it up to a unique life experience. And who knows, maybe your saliva sample ended up being the key to some groundbreaking medical discovery.
Now wouldn't that be something? Although I'd prefer if my claim to fame wasn't just my ability to drool on command.
Fair point. Maybe we can find you a more dignified way to make your mark on the world. But in the meantime, at least you've got a good laugh out of this whole ordeal.
You got that right. Thanks for letting me vent about my strange medical adventure, Anna. I feel better already.
Anytime, John. I'm always here if you need to share your, spectacular stories.
You're the best. I'm just glad I can count on you to keep me laughing, even in the most awkward of situations.
Lesson 18, Potluck Planning for a Group Gathering.
Alright, Anna, I've got a question for you about our upcoming office potluck. What kind of dish should I bring to share?
Ooh, a potluck, how fun. I think bringing a tasty dessert would be a great contribution.
A dessert, huh? That's a good idea. Any particular sweets you think would go over well with the group?
Well, something easy to share and enjoy would be perfect. Maybe a nice batch of brownies or some fun cupcakes?
Ooh, brownies sound delicious. And cupcakes are always a crowd pleaser, aren't they?
Absolutely. Plus, it'll add a nice sweet element to balance out all the savory dishes people will likely bring.
That's a really good point. I want to make sure there's a nice variety for everyone to enjoy.
Exactly. And you can even get creative with the flavors or toppings to make your dessert really stand out.
Oh, like what? I'm open to suggestions. I want to bring something really special.
Well, you could do a classic chocolate brownie, but then top them with a peanut butter drizzle or chopped nuts.
Yum, that sounds incredible. The salty sweet combo is always a winner.
Definitely. Or you could do a fun cupcake flavor, like maybe red velvet or lemon with a buttercream frosting.
Those both sound amazing. Now I'm torn between brownies and cupcakes, they both sound so good.
Well, in that case, maybe you could do a little of both? Do a batch of brownies and then a couple different cupcake flavors.
Ooh, yes. That's an awesome idea. Cover all the bases that way. I love it.
Absolutely. That way you're sure to have something to satisfy everyone's sweet tooth.
You're the best, Anna. This is going to make my potluck contribution stand out for sure.
I'm happy I could help spark some tasty inspiration. Just be sure to save me a cupcake, okay?
You got it. I'll make sure to set a few aside, just for you.
Haha, perfect. I'll be looking forward to taste testing your creations at the potluck.
Sounds like a plan. I can't wait to see everyone's reactions. This is going to be so much fun.
Lesson 19, Discussing a Promising Collaboration Proposal.
Morning, Anna. I wanted to discuss the collaboration proposal we've been working on. What are your thoughts so far?
Good morning, John. I've been reviewing the proposal in detail, and I have to say, I'm really excited about the potential of this project.
Excellent, I'm glad to hear that. What particular aspects of the proposal stand out to you as promising?
Well, I think the synergy between our two organizations is a huge plus. Our complementary skills and resources could make for a really powerful partnership.
I agree completely. I feel like we'd be able to leverage each other's strengths to deliver something truly innovative.
Absolutely. And the timeline and milestones you've outlined seem very realistic and achievable, which gives me confidence in our ability to execute.
That's great to hear. I know we've put a lot of work into mapping out a detailed project plan, so I'm glad it comes across as feasible.
Yes, the planning looks rock solid. And I'm really excited about the potential impact this collaboration could have on our target audience.
Definitely. Reaching a wider customer base is a key driver for me, so I'm thrilled that you see this as a mutually beneficial opportunity.
Absolutely. I think combining our marketing efforts and brand recognition could be a real game changer.
I couldn't agree more. This feels like the start of something really special. Do you have any other initial thoughts or questions?
The only other thing I'd mention is just ensuring we nail down the financial and contractual details to everyone's satisfaction.
Good point. We'll want to make sure we hash out the budget, revenue sharing, and intellectual property terms very clearly.
Exactly. But I'm confident we can work through those logistics in a way that works for both of our organizations.
I have no doubt. You're right, the core of this proposal is incredibly promising. I'm really looking forward to moving this forward.
Likewise, John. I think this could be the start of a wonderfully productive and profitable partnership.
Agreed. Alright, shall we touch base later this week to discuss next steps and timelines?
Sounds like a plan. I'll block off some time in my calendar. This is going to be great.
Excellent. I appreciate you taking the time to review this proposal so thoroughly. Your feedback has been invaluable.